So my fourth time in Africa, so I'm not really an expert, but just to share with you that I'd like to spend more time in the future. I took note of the CBM, for example, issue that was discussed because I think it is a real issue for new projects on European African interactions. So this fourth time we met in Pretoria, 2017. There, I developed an idea with a friend of mine, and then we spent some time in Mozambique. I published a paper last year for the first time on Africa in core development, and then we are here. So learning. Just sharing with you, and then if you want to interact in social media, because the team is very active on different seats. It's the Inter-University Center we use for projects. It's 12 universities now, led by Ferrara, on ecological economics issues. So that's and the new one in churches, new one, 5 years now, that we just extended to 4 departments. So it's not just economics, it's chemistry, environmental sciences, engineering. This is a University of Ferrara Center on Circular Economy and Innovation. So two actors that we can use to interconnect. Okay. We're talking about demographics before. So this usual picture I share with people. I mean, not to you, they're very expert, but share with people that the transitions are multiple, and we have to. The demographic is the key one.
Sorry. Yeah. Use microphone, please.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can stay here.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so multiple transitions and the environmental one is interconnected as well. So we have different type of trade-offs, complementarities around. Even decarbonization, circular economy. My point is, especially when I talk to people on management and business, I'm in between with innovation, and we have to always talk about circular economy, decarbonization, bioeconomy all together. So it's not to avoid the risk to create niches, even mental blockings. Okay. Okay. So the just transition was mentioned, and this is part of the European Green Deal. Okay. So this starts talking about knowledge. I mean, very obvious. I mean, to create a just transition, you need innovation and knowledge, human capital investment, and so on and so forth, which is theory and in words very easy to say. But then my obsession, for example, is the European, Italian R&D expenditures. I mean, China is now higher than Europe in 2021, and Europe is lagging. I mean, with the usual suspects, Denmark, Sweden, Germany. But I mean, the average is still pretty poor. So we need to focus and remember policymakers need to invest. The issue then is that the real world is non-linear. You know, this shock-driven is a chaos. It's not the stable growth that maybe in the 90s. I mean, some economists tended to declare or think that we could have this type of sort of reward. For example, a couple of examples. This is the European link to CDM. This is the European. I mean, we didn't want the tax 20 years ago. Now the financial market. So this is a carbon pricing. Okay, up and down, up and down, up more than down, because okay, but again, we don't really know, like inflation, and you can forecast by 6 months if you're lucky, 1 year maybe, but then this everything is too uncertain. So and this is something that even firms don't like, and you know, I mean that this is another picture among others. I mean, energy crisis, wars, shocks, pandemic crisis, and so on and so forth. So I mean, you have to be aware of this fact. Again, I was saying R&D, the performance of some countries like South Korea, which is, I think South Korea just reached 4.93% GDP invested in R&D, which is the top in the world. So South Korea is not a miracle; it's just investments. Okay, you see the European. This is not updated, but things are not have not changed very much. I was saying, I'm talking about Europe, Italy, and North Africa. At the end, this is a slide I share with people in Italy and Europe to say, well, stay connected, because yeah, you see this. This is the first page of Eurostat. So I'm not using strange information. So it's really you Google R&D Europe. This is the first link. So that's something that we should have in mind. Having said that, a bit of Italy, why not? Not because of Italy. Italy has taken advantage of Ferrari, Lamborghini, and Barilla. We have, as other countries, mean the big ones, okay, and the famous ones. But the structure of Italy, you know, maybe that is made of small, medium enterprises, micro enterprises, okay. In some cases, working for Ducati, for example, it's a steel company, 100 people producing for Ducati. This is another issue. So maybe Ducati, which is going to Germany, to be honest, is transmitting Ecoinnovation stimulus from Germany to Ducati to the micro enterprises. Okay, so that's the analogy I found with CBN. So maybe is Europe the benefits and costs of CBN for Africa? So the analogy has been the cost and benefits of more stringent Northern European policies, for example, for some Italian firms. But here you have a question mark, and the question mark is, which is for Italy, but I share this with you. Those SMEs are credibly thinking about this economic future, knowledge-based. Yes, no, if they are, if they're not, because are they receiving stimulus in terms of policies? Because you see, on the other hand, I mean, Italy is strangely enough, to some extent, not really lagging behind in terms of innovation. Why we the situation with innovation as such is not that good, but why? I don't know. This is a question mark for research. I mean, maybe because the inventions and the innovativeness of those mean I can't and I know to say that the Emilia Romagna or the flag that Veneto, Lombardy, or Santo, very rich of inventors and people, micro firms. So we are there. So question mark research, SMEs may be on track or not. So cooperation is an issue to increase the size, I mean, the dimension of the activity. Okay. And so that's my first message. So innovation figures black and white, as it was the case in Europe and Italy, with a focus on the role of SMEs in terms of some of you I know work in SMEs, and this is a worldwide issue. Knowledge and innovation, that I don't have to teach human development, but it's when I talk, I mean, and there's some time I often stress, I mean, the human development perspective. We do have problems. I mean, there are interesting projects in East Africa. You know, I'm not as expert as you are. South Africa has some problems. Italy as well is -1. The United States are -25, I guess, in terms of comparison between GDP and human development. So I don't love rankings. Okay, I don't love academic rankings. I don't love rankings are for football and other and team. But in some cases, man, they produce some food for thought at least. Okay, so human development is education, health, GDP, could be gender, could be inequality in the extensions. So knowledge is the pillar. For example, some Eastern European performances are supported by the historical investment in education that stem from the past. Here you can compare that is it does to say that innovation knowledge also matter for creating a strong and structural basis for human development. I just came across reviewing a book, this text, which is sticking to insufficient R&D investments as well, but also to this middle income trap, which is maybe another insight. Okay, you may Italy again, again Lamborghini, Ferrari, but okay. When I'm in Italy, I say people stay connected because the world is changing. Okay, so um, so that's the and yeah. Again, entering the African realm, we may um, investigate this R&D spending, and not obsessed with R&D that you have other more refined stuff, but R&D as a key driver of again, it is a structural factor that tells you several things about competitiveness, innovation, and so on and so forth. So it also captures at macroeconomic level at least the dynamics. Okay. Okay, I don't want to after lunch to produce too many graphs, but okay, you have the slides. Also, the interest rates issue was mentioned before in the lecture, a very nice lecture, because now the world is more normal. Okay, I would say, as an economist or social scientist, we had not normal years of zero interest rates, at least in Europe. So now interest rates are more or less what they should be. And this is another okay. So you have the slides to see also Mariana was mentioned before. Okay, so role of firms. I already said something about firms. I mean, we work on macroeconomics, but the large part of my research is about firms. And there's one example on Ecoinnovation. The need of getting data, again, speaking about future projects that could we could implement together is always critical at micro level, because I mean now students, I tell students, you have all the magic data about the macroeconomics, I didn't have. But then at sector or in micro level firms, you need to gather data. So it's not that easy. You need to spend money. So again, sharing part of our research, this paper on circular economy practices, and maybe this is a paper I concluded in the beginning at the end of this talk. I want to. In the next 5 minutes. I'm sharing this idea about the twin transitions, which is a paper which is not published, based upon a survey on firms that, if you have some interest, is public because it was paid by taxpayers. It's a survey. It's a dynamic survey in 2 ways on Italian firms, collecting several data on innovation, economation, R&D, also training, training practices, so the labor side of things. Okay, that's maybe the message of this. So we have data by Ecoinnovation, R&D, SMEs, and micro enterprises. So the focus is on SMEs. Here, high, low. I mean, the COVID explaining part of this decrease. It's not high, low. I mean, it's a transition. So firms are transitioning with different shares of innovation. You see the critical point where you are in climate change mitigation compared to waste, because it's more difficult for SMEs. So we in the question again is for you as well, if you want to cooperate in some papers, is we have some key variables. So here we have the variable twin, which is the link between the adoption of green innovations and digital innovations. Okay, very simple stuff. So the maps again, homework. If you like maps are always very fine. But again, I don't have time to focus on the differences across regions. But you can create maps and see the adoption across regions, provinces. Okay. Static dynamic is not always north-south in Italy. This is an important point. It's also south-south, north-north divisions more and more, okay, because territories are linked to global markets in the south and the north, so that's a key variable. But okay, so we have the regional data. You can look at the provincial data as well, and then okay. The result we have, and then we also have in the organizational innovations and labor-oriented practices like, okay. The statistical exercise we carry out here is linking the adoption of this twin, green digital, with the labor-oriented side of practices. This under review paper. So very, very simply, it seems that you have a correlation, but the firms which adopt digital and green innovations do have a background and investments, strong investments in the organizational practices and labor-oriented also training. Okay, so that's also linking labor economics to innovation to environmental economics, which is something that we need. 2 minutes. Okay. In fact, 2 minutes, some figures, some photographs as well. But by chance, I had Ducati in my slide. Why? Because a couple of examples from Italy and then one from Europe, Africa. This is the example of a value chain we are working with. For example, people producing this stuff in small medium enterprise into Ducati. Okay. And the issue is that they need to be competitive and innovate because Ducati is upgrading, for example, including the embodied CO2 in product process innovations. This is a new requirement, okay, and Ducati, okay, so the story. Also in the agri-food, I mean, this is a bio bottle with fresh fruits, which combines different values like environmental values, health, circular economy, decarbonization. So it's another typical specialization of Emilia-Romagna di Flame to some extent. So, but could be also in other places. Okay, so that's very, very finally, and I introduced the final slide over the slide, just because I want to conclude with Europe, Africa. Sorry, this is Italian, but if you search in the web Cocono Uganda, you find, I think that Lucia Del Negro was presenting the idea of Cocono in Pretoria in 2017. Lucia was there. Yeah. Lucia is an entrepreneur and she developed the idea. Cocono is a shell, okay, oriented towards the health of babies, basically. It's a co-creation type of thing, um, oriented towards circular economy, made out of local products. So it's a kind of saying, no, we're not, we have the technology and we sell, but we co-create this thing with you. So this is a nice example that you can discover and explore as a type of eco innovation, but also more than eco. Okay, I'm done with that. Thank you.